Hi, have you ever been given or purchased a bottle that looks like this because somebody said, hey, you should try this, it's gonna make you feel better for this reason, and you get home and you're really excited to try it because you want to feel better, and then you realize, I don't know what I'm doing, like I don't know how to take this, like even reading the instructions, it's like, wait, what does that mean? Dropper full, like what does all that mean? Well, if that's happened to you, I'm making this video for you because I totally get it. And anytime we do something new, or even if it's something that we've been doing for a while and we're like, am I doing this like the way that's most supportive to me? It's helpful to have a little bit of a tutorial. So this is why I'm creating it. I want to help you take your herbal medicines in a safe and supportive way. And so you can feel confident and comfortable, because if we're stressing out, you know, that's kind of reversing the effects of it. So I want to help create a less stressful environment for you. So some of y'all may know I'm Nishan Sandhu. I'm a clinical herbalist, I'm an aromatherapist, and a mind-body eating coach. And I love to help people just kind of deepen their connections with their bodies and their personal rhythms and their most authentic self, because we're all amazing, beautiful people, and we all have different quirks and we have different strengths. And it's just kind of about going with the flow of those so that we can feel like our most authentic and healthy self. And one of the pieces is taking herbal medicine. Now, I'm not going to get into the actual like content of what herbs to take. I just really want to walk you through the basics of like what a tincture is and how to take different medicines so that you can feel comfortable. Okay, so here's a tincture bottle. This one is alcohol based. You can see it's a little bit more fluid and liquidy. I have one over here that's a glycerin, and I don't have any oil here right now with me, but you'll see there's different types of medicine. So this is a glycerin, it's more gooey, a little gooey ooey. You might have a tincture like this where it's just more drops, or you may have an oil. And basically what happens, so you get it, great, read the instructions, make sure it's a good fit for you, make sure you've talked to a practitioner that's like a professional, or that you really trust the source and have done your research, okay? Quality things to look for: if you need gluten-free, get gluten-free. Organic is great. It's not as easy to find organic tincture all the time, but getting stuff that's like ethically wildcrafted from somebody that you know the medicine is being made with reverence. Somebody's not going in and kind of tearing something up just to make something, but somebody's going in there with a reverence for the plant, making the medicine, not taking too much plant material. Just do your research. If you're sensitive to alcohol, okay, if you can't take alcohol, then you don't probably want to take tinctures, because most of them are alcohol based. It's very strong alcohol. So that's where you might get something like a glycerin or an oil, as long as they're safe for internal use, okay? So here's the tincture bottle. This is the dropper. Sometimes what you'll see on the side is it'll say, like 15 drops, 5 drops. That might be what some people might consider kind of a lower dose, which I think is great. Less is more, I think, personally, with anything. And so if you can start out lower, even if it says 30 drops, and you have something where you just don't have to immediately, so let's say it's something for your nervous system or for pain management, you may want to start a little bit lower. See if you can go with 5 drops. Especially if you're a highly sensitive person, which I know I attract a lot of highly sensitive people, as somebody who's also highly sensitive, right? So what you want to do, here's the dropper. It's empty. You put it in there. Don't squeeze it yet. Don't squeeze it yet just because you're going to be plunging stuff into it. You squeeze it once, maybe right around the middle. Try to be the same place where when you get it. You're going to pull it out. You notice the dropper doesn't fill all the way. Now, some herbalists might say that's 1 squirt. Typically, that's what they mean, 1 squirt, okay? If somebody says maybe 30 to 45 drops, this might also be approximate, because while there's no milliliters on here, if you squeeze it in the same spot, approximately, if you count this over again and over again, it's probably going to be somewhere between 32 to 46 drops, okay? If you were able to have if the dose says something like 30 to 60 drops, you could just do that. Now, I really think counting the drops is good, because if you're doing low dose, it's easy, 5 drops. But if you're doing a higher dose, every time you get your new tincture, what you might consider doing, if it doesn't have the milliliters, the markings of lines here, which most of them don't, kind of like when you go to the vet or the pediatrician, they'll have those. It won't be on there. So what you'll do is squeeze it once and then count the drops in there. Now you can see I actually just squeeze it once and a half, and there's more. If I were to go in there and squeeze it twice, just to show you, it's a lot higher. Okay, so this is why it's important if it says 1 dropper full to clarify with the practitioner, do they mean a full-ish dropper? It's not gonna get fuller than that typically. Or do they mean 1 squirt as in 1 dropper full, right? So that's why I like to say to clients, this many drops. And this is why I'm saying that why I wanna show you is when you squeeze it once, that's gonna be an approximation of typically, but count for yourself just in case your fingers squeeze things differently so you can get to know what your squeezing drops is like. This for me, when I do it, is usually like 32 to like 46 drops. So there's that. So I'm just gonna do a small amount because like, let's say with bitters, typically people might say like 15 drops, but I think you can definitely do 5 if you want to. And so I'm gonna just go like this, okay, and I'm gonna count the drops. So what do? You get a little glass of water. You don't need much water at all. And I really suggest doing water if you need juice because you don't like the flavor of the medicine quite yet. But ideally getting to water at some point because the medicine is like the flavor is the medicine. I'm gonna leave it at that. There's a lot of magic there, but there's so much medicine and flavor. And so the more pure you can get the flavor coming in without that sweet, which most of us are addicted to, not addicted to, but so used to. Yeah, so maybe get to water, but you can start with juice if you want to, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops. And you'll see the water might change color a little bit, and then you just kick it back, and you've got your tincture where you've taken it, and it's safe. Yeah, so one reason I'll say not to necessarily put it directly under your tongue is because if it is an alcohol-based tincture, it's very strong in alcohol, and it can tighten and tonify, right, the gums. So again, it's like you don't want to dry out your mouth. You want to stay well hydrated, and you don't want to end up drying it out to where you're getting receding gums by taking medicine every day, you know, and plus it'll burn. It's so sensitive under there. Yeah. So I hope that's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions and I can try to answer them for you below. Okay, bye-bye.